I think we need to stop asking women this question. I think it's clear that men and women value things differently. Men and women speak the language very differently. Men and women are also have become more selfish, so they're not really as considerate. And to be fair, when it comes to marriage, you got to decide what value you're getting out of it, and that's the thing that helps you pick the right person, right? Asking women to answer this question repeatedly just goes to fueling the gender wars. That's all it really does. Because then it's, well, look at these women. They can't give us a reason why. We should be asking married men, why did you get married? Mm-hmm. You decided to make the decision that a lot of men are choosing not to make. Why did you do it? What are you getting out of it? Asking women just feels redundant at this point. Because if we knew, we would be doing the things that would help us get married. No?
Marcus, why did you get married? Why don't you answer that question for Team Fatty?
Oh, can I say something before he answers the question?
Is it on the topic? Like, are we?
Yes, it's on the topic. I think it's very valid for men to ask women this question because men aren't sold on marriage. So if you want them to embark on something that they're not initially sold on, what would be the benefit? If you have to sell him on something that he's not willing to buy,
their mind is already made up. This isn't a question out of genuine, like, I'm open to it, but I need to hear what would be the benefits. He's not trying to be sold on marriage. It's a point to try to prove a point.
But the thing is, the point is, if you want to be married, you should want to be able to answer this question. What is the benefit to be married to you? What's the benefit?
I am, but what you don't understand, it's different for different men. And that's why Shan is trying to ask Marcus, what was it for him? Because what he values is going to be
but you're the person that's selling it.
Okay? No. We're not, because we're not telling you to marry just anybody. Okay.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when a person asks, hey, what is the benefit to getting married? From a man's perspective, when he's telling to you, hey, I'm a guy, I am a guy. I am a guy asking you, a woman that you want me to be married to. What is it that I benefit from marrying you? That is a very valid question for brothers to ask.
That's a different question.
It's second, right? Because you're not marrying me. Because my value, I may be valuable to somebody else that's not you. Okay, but what we can tell you is that from a married man, he can tell you as a man what he gets out of being a married man. Because I've never been a man, it ain't never been one down here, so we can't tell you that as a man because we've never been a man. But we got a man here who is married who can tell you as a
man. So the number one thing they point about, they can answer it. They right. Because it's like asking, what type of car do you want? It's a personalized thing. What type of home do you want? It's a personalized thing. Different men value different things. Like, I might be attracted to a 400-pound woman who is very, very light-skinned, right? And that's not for you, right? So she fits that look requirement. Or I might want someone that can cook, clean, and do X, Y, Z. You might not have any need for any of those. It's really very specific to who you are. So you have to know exactly what you want in life, and then impute that into the world as far as this is what I'm looking for. And at that point, you can find a wife who hits those metrics. Outside of that, like, is it a one universal end-all blanket? It's not going to be one. Because most women come, unless there's a physical condition with sex, any sexual acts can be taught if you know how to teach, right? I believe men are leaders, so you can pretty much train people how you would like to be treated and dealt with. So that can be fixed. Like, almost everything you can fix. So you have to decide on what your prerequisites are, on what everyone doesn't have that you want specifically, and then you could pick. Outside of that, it's not going to be a question, because somebody might be like, I like women who are a little bit, edgy and who push back. I 100% hate that shit. Like, I like, it turns me off. So that's for somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a quick question, Mark.
Real fast. Universally, men live longer lives when they're married. There are things statistically that are proven, and that's one of the things. Your health is your wealth.
Yep, health benefits.
Yeah, but it's not just because you married that men last longer. Benefits. Like, it's not just because you married. It's not.
It's
most
not.
of the time.
This is what we're talking about. It's not a debate. We're just telling you what the stats say. You can take them or you can leave them. You can take them or leave them. It's not a gender war. So you don't want to get married, Harrison? Nobody's
No. You're messing up that.
Nobody's going to try to persuade you to get married. We just told you a benefit. He just told you it was individualized. We're not going to do that on this show. You can do that Thursday night, Wednesday night, Monday, Tuesday, whatever. On this one, we just told you a benefit. It is statistically, it's written, it's research, and it is statistic. Now, what you want to do with that information is up to you.
And even Team Fatty, like he said, Marcus, based on what Marcus was saying, he was like, all cars have engines, like meaning it's some basic stuff that cars have that you would choose. But when we make it general, like when if I tell you, well, what Shan just said, there's health benefits. Men typically live longer. So if I gave you just a general basic makeup of what man being married benefits, you're going to be like, oh, I could do that by myself. But like Shan was saying, stats show that it increases financially. You benefit economically by being married. You benefit social and like family, like you gain stability. There's emotional support. There's you end up living longer. All of those things. I think that's the generic benefit. Like if you're talking about all cars come with engines, that's what the stats show. So that's your basic engine of why it benefits men being married. But when you want to get to the specific make and model of the car that you choose, then that becomes more of an individual taste. Like how Marcus said, he don't like a woman that push back. But for my husband, now I can say push back like everything has to be argumentative. No, he doesn't like that. But he does like to be able to have a conversation where he gets some pushback because it is a different perspective and he likes that. But the next man may not like that. I also could say that in terms of providing certain things, he said the other day, I had, text on the back chat, was laughing about it before, about how not too long ago, he was like, yo, like, I must admit that you've upgraded my life by being with me. He was like, because I would have been fine being in an apartment and just, doing my thing. But now we're traveling the world and I'm now using, what he said, a sugar scrub, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was making jokes about that. But the point is that what he requires is going to be different than what Marcus requires. You know what I'm saying? And so to that regard, what his needs were in order to step over that threshold to get married, those were the tangibles, the non-tangible that I was able to provide him so he could say yes.